Alright you guys, what's going on today? Welcome back to the vlog. My name is Red and today we are going to tackle and try to answer an age-old question. Does size really matter? Alright you guys, get your head out of the gutter. That is not what we are talking about here. This is an RC vlog. We are obviously talking about RC cars. As you can see here, I have a plethora of RC cars and we're going to go through a few of them and we're going to talk about the size and what size of an RC car you might want to get if you're in the market. All right, you guys, let's just start right here with some stadium trucks. Now, I also should mention that there are different classes or styles or whatever you want to say of RC cars. There are your stadium trucks. There are some crawlers. There are racing cars, drifting cars, stadium trucks, buggies. There's all sorts of different RC cars available. This is an Arrma Senton. This is made by Arrma. This one is a 4x4 version, and this is a 10th scale RC car, you guys, okay? So now you can see the tire compared to my hand or something, you know, okay? It's a big tire, all right? It's a big truck. This truck it'll go fast. It'll jump some jumps. It'll take some beatings. You can race these trucks as well at a lot of racetracks across the country. I would say these 10th scale trucks, stadium trucks, are perfect for someone who has already ran some RC cars or who's started out with a smaller one. Maybe you have a young kid. You might want to start them out with a smaller scale and then bring them up to the larger scale, because the larger scales move a lot faster, you guys, okay? And they cost a little bit more, so let's not forget about that. Like I said, you can race it, you can bash it, you can go out in the yard with it, you can take it places. Skate park, I've been to the skate park with it, beaches with it. I've been a lot of places with this thing. I love it. I really, really do. There's a lot of different kind of 10th scales made by different people. Traxxas, Arrma, just some of the big ones. So there's the 10th scale. Now let's take a look at the 18th scale version of a stadium truck or basher, whatever, however you classify it. Right now you see the size difference, tire wise. I mean, you know, size difference sitting on top. As you can see, the 18th scale stadium truck is much smaller than the 10th scale. This is a Latrax Desert Pre-Runner. This is made by Traxxas. This little thing scoots, dude. I'm not even gonna play. This little thing scoots. My kids, my wife, everybody, we had blast with these in the desert. One thing about these ones though is if you're gonna bash them and run them hard, you guys, they are gonna break a little more than your bigger ones. Littler parts, more fragile, you know what I'm saying? But this 18th scale stadium truck would be a great beginner car because this thing moves. It has a lot of the same parts, components, and everything that the larger scale ones are going to have if you step up a notch. So you can gain your experience on driving, handling, and even working on them part-wise before you jump up to the bigger ones, which are going to cost more and be, you know, a little more hands-on. But they will take a little bit more of a beating and last longer. The batteries in these may last half hour or so. The batteries in my 10th scale, depending on how you run it, guys, don't forget, it depends on how you run your stuff. The 10th scale ones, my batteries I have will last me about an hour a piece, okay? So you get a little more time, a little cheaper, a little more expensive, but you get different things, so it matters. What do you want to do? You want a starter that's a little cheaper, or do you just want to go in and spend the money and get the bigger one that's a little more expensive? But if you know you're gonna like it and you're gonna step it up anyway, you might just want to do that, right? All right, let's move the stadium trucks aside and let's grab a couple crawlers. All right, we're gonna start off with the Red Cat Gen 8 Scout 2. This rig, I love this rig, you guys. If you've watched my previous videos, I have a lot of footage on this. I drive this a lot. Not only because my Bronco was broken down for most of its life that I've had it, but I love this rig. This rig is sweet. You can also see I've added a few more scale objects, roof racks, and things like that. I'm working on the interior right now. It's in the painting process. I ran out of paint for it, so I gotta go get some more paint, but we're in the process of that right now. But this here, you guys, this is a hefty crawler, okay? Tires are big, truck is big, it's heavy. A lot of your components on these bigger cars, you're gonna either come with some kind of metal or steel components, which is gonna make them heavier. or they're going to be upgradable, you know, to some more beefier stuff. You can make these things practically indestructible, you guys. These things can take a beating when you put some parts on them. This is your 10th scale crawler. Now, scale does matter in my opinion, you guys, because it all depends on how you want to use your vehicles. Like I said with the stadium trucks, you get that 10th scale size and it's gonna want to, you're gonna be able to race it. The 18th scale, it's gonna be hard to find a race for it if you can find it at all. The crawlers are kind of the same thing. Let me grab these ones up here. This one here is an 18th scale crawler, and this one here is a 24th scale crawler. Okay, so you can clearly see a size difference, am I right? Okay, now this 10th scale crawler, you guys, is one of my go-tos for some fun. I love my bigger scale crawlers. I love these little ones too, don't get me wrong. But like I said, they all have their specific application in my opinion. This 10th scale crawler, it's a little beefier, a little heavier, a little harder to take to some places. On large hikes, long hikes, I won't take this one. It's kind of heavy. So if it's a long hike, I won't take this. I will opt to grab a smaller one instead. See what I'm saying? But this one here, I can take a lot of places and get some really cool crawling time in. I've been on the coast. I've been a lot of places, East Coast, West Coast, in Arizona, in the desert, you guys. This truck has been a lot of places and provides me with tons and tons of fun. Let's move over real quick to an 18th scale crawler. Now, as you can see, the 18th scale crawler is much smaller than the 10th scale crawler. The 18th scale crawler is gonna be the same. You're gonna be able to upgrade it like crazy, you guys. This one has pretty much been upgraded to the gills except for a few things, but it's much lighter. I can take this thing with me lots of places, and I do. The 18th scale crawler is going to be cheaper. The parts are going to be cheaper. They're going to be harder to work on the smaller your rigs get, because if you got big cloggy hands or big, you know, stone fingers or anything, you know, it's going to be hard to work on some of these smaller components in here inside the truck as well. The screws are small, you guys, but they're a lot of fun and very, very easy to take places. Now this one, I can either hang off of the back of my hiking pack. I can slide it down in my hiking pack. This one I've taken with me on some long hikes, so that way I can do some fun crawling while I'm taking breaks on my hikes and stuff. Really easy on the go. Another thing about these smaller crawlers is you can almost always find somewhere to play with these. The 10th scale crawlers, you got to have kind of a large area, kind of some big objects and obstacles to be crawling. The 18th and 24th scale crawlers, I could take these out in the yard right now and I can crawl practically anything. The stumps, the larger rocks, you know, like you could practically find somewhere to run your smaller crawlers anywhere. I forgot to mention to you guys, this is a TRX-4M from Traxxas. And then let's take a look at a 24th scale. As you can see, again, you guys, much smaller. It is quite smaller than the 18th scale even. This is another one that is super fun, they're cheap, you know what I'm saying? So you can get them cheap, you can get the parts relatively cheap. This is another one that is very, very easy to take on the go. Like I mentioned with the Bronco here, the parts are gonna be tougher to work on because they're smaller. You will break stuff more on them because they're smaller, more fragile. But again, very, very easy to take places. And then a lot of your hobby shops, they have crawler courses where you can take your rigs, even the 10th scale ones. But you will definitely find a lot of them that have crawler courses, indoor, outdoor, whatever, for these smaller rigs. And you can actually take these in easy. You can carry 2, 3, 4 of these rather than carrying one 10th scale, and you can go have a blast pretty much anywhere. So there's really not a whole lot of difference in between these, but the size, you know what I'm saying? All the components are pretty much the same. They all function pretty much the same. Just different sizes, different applications. I will take this one where I know I have lots of room. I will take these two where I might not have room or very little to work with to crawl. And definitely these will be my go-to on long hikes. These bigger ones, you guys, and the more you put into them, the heavier they get. It's like carrying a small child on a hike. It gets heavy, you know what I'm saying? So it really just depends on how you want to use your crawler, you guys. As you see, I own one of every size. I own 2 of these sizes. I will get more of these sizes as well. I just really enjoy all sizes of the RC game, you guys, because it is all different. It really is. All right, last but not least, you guys, I want to talk about a buggy that I have. Now, I don't have multiple size buggies yet to compare, but I have one buggy. I have to admit before I pull it out, I don't drive it a lot, and hopefully you'll see why. Now, this buggy is special to me because I won this buggy, and it used to be completely different, and as you can see, I gave it a complete makeover. And if you guys don't know who this is, you've lived under a rock your entire life, you guys. This is RC, the RC, you guys, from Toy Story. I made this out of a 10th scale Jeg Stinger. Like I said, you guys, I won this free on a TikTok thing. They were giving stuff away. I just so happened to win this one. It didn't come with electronics inside, which is whatever. I mean, I got it for free, right? I won it. But it did come as a Jeg Stinger, and I went ahead and I took that Stinger apart, and I'm talking inside and out, you guys. Everything in here is painted. Everything underneath is painted. As you can see, I tried to make pretty much an exact replica of RC from Toy Story. This car does run. It does boogie. It has a 2S Spectrum ESC in there, and then a 550 turn motor in there that I got off of the Amazon, you guys. And it scoots. It does scoot. I don't drive this too much. I don't drive it hard. I put a lot of time into this, and I really just don't want to destroy it. I like driving it around. I like just looking at it, you guys. I mean, it's my work, you know. I put a lot of work into this, and I'm proud of it. So when I do get this out, I only drive it a little bit, and I try like hell not to crash this thing. They do race buggies. They do have different size buggies, different scales, so be on the lookout for that. But this is another one, you guys, that is good for ripping and jumping. These things scoot, and they're a lot of fun. You can take these to the track, or you can just get these out in the open fields or on the streets and just rip them around, and they're real fun, you guys. So, all right, so hopefully you learned a little bit about if size really does matter today. I think it really does, you guys. I think size really matters. It depends on what you want to do with it. Really think about what you want to do with your RC car. If it's your first one you're buying, really think about what you want to do with it. Do a little bit of research. Just don't go out and buy the coolest one you see online. Think about what you want to do with your RC car. You know what I'm saying? Some days I like to bash. Some days I like to crawl. Some days I like to just go out and drive leisurely. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to have a little bit of everything. So in all reality, you guys, size does matter, but it really doesn't hurt to have a variety, if you can, of RC cars, so you can do a little bit of anything you want with them. All right, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I could really use all the help growing this channel, and I really, really do appreciate it. Get a controller in your hands, you guys. Get out, have some fun, and I hope to see you on the next one.